Open your refrigerator and pull the door back slow. Not to take anything out, just to look. Look at the rubber seal that runs around the door, in the folds where it presses shut. You see that gray, do you not? That creeping black tucked into the pleats. And a smell meets you before the food does. A low, sour thing you stop noticing, but your guests never did. You have wiped these shelves 100 times, and still it comes back. But you have been cleaning the one part of this box that was never the problem. So you do what they taught you to do. You buy the wipes with the picture of a lemon on the front. You keep that little box of baking soda sitting open on the shelf, the one that has been in there so long, you have forgotten the year you put it there. And when the smell wins anyway, you reach for the bleach and you wipe the whole inside down until your eyes sting, and you close the door and you tell yourself the refrigerator is just getting old. My name is Maria, and what I share here is the old way of keeping a house, the way my mother kept hers, and her mother before her, back before there was a shelf in the store for every little mess, every bottle on it telling a woman what she had to go and buy. There is nothing here I am selling you. There is only the plain, knowing that used to pass from a mother to a daughter at the kitchen table, and has quietly gotten lost. And once you understand what truly lives in a refrigerator and where it hides, you will never fight it the wrong way again. But nobody ever told you the real reason. A refrigerator does not smell because the shelves are dirty. It smells because of two things you have never once cleaned, the two places that smell is truly coming from, and the first of them is that rubber seal. The second is hiding at the very back, and I will show it to you when we get there. Look close at that seal again. It is not a strip of trim, put there to make the door pretty. It is the whole reason the cold stays inside, and down in every fold of it, in every place it folds shut against the frame, the damp gets trapped and never dries, and a drop of spilled milk or a smear from the lip of a jar settles into it and sits. That is where the black comes from. It is mold, and it has taken root down in the rubber, and no amount of wiping the shelves will ever reach it. But the smell is not even the worst of it. Once that seal is fouled and stiff, it stops closing the way it was made to, and the cold leaks out in a thin line you cannot see or feel. And the motor down underneath runs and runs to make up for it, all through the day and all through the night. So the seal you have been stepping right past is costing you twice over. It is holding the smell in the rubber, and it is quietly running up your bill. So let me show you how it is actually done, in the order that matters, because the order is where nearly everyone goes wrong. First, you empty it, all the way, every shelf, into a cooler or out onto the counter, if the day is a cool one. And then you do the thing that almost nobody does. You reach behind and you pull the plug, or you turn it off at the dial inside. A refrigerator you are trying to clean should not be fighting you the whole time, humming and dripping and pushing cold air while you work. Let it rest and let it warm, just enough to work in peace. Now you start where the smell truly lives, which is that seal and not the shelves. You take a small bowl of warm water with a little dish soap worked into it, and you take an old toothbrush, the soft kind you are about to throw away, and you run it through every fold of that rubber, all the way around, the top and both sides and along the bottom, where the worst of it always gathers. And where the black has settled in deep and does not want to come, a paste of baking soda on that same brush will lift it out gently without any harsh acid that would dry the rubber and crack it. You will watch the water go gray. That gray is the smell itself, coming up out of the rubber where it has been living all this time. And when you have worked the whole way around, you wipe that seal dry with a cloth, because a dry seal closes tight and a damp one does not. Now, and only now, you come to the shelves. And here is a small thing that will save you a cracked shelf and a cut hand, both. If your shelves are made of glass, do not run them straight under hot water, the moment they come out of the cold. Cold glass and hot water do not agree with one another, and the glass will crack clean across right there in your sink. Let the shelves sit out on the counter and come up to the warmth of the room first. 10 minutes is plenty, and then wash them in warm water with a little dish soap, the same as you would a dinner plate. For the walls inside, warm water and vinegar on a cloth. And for any spot that has dried on hard and does not want to let go, a paste of baking soda worked in a slow circle until it lifts, because baking soda has a fine grit to it that scrubs without scratching a thing. Then pull the drawers all the way out, the ones down at the bottom where the vegetables go, and lift them clear, because underneath them, in the well they sit down in, is a puddle you have never once seen. A little standing water, a leaf gone to slime, the juice of something that leaked weeks ago and ran down to the one place your eye never travels. Wipe that well out with your vinegar cloth and dry it well. The drawers themselves go in the sink, like the shelves did, warm water and soap, and set them aside to dry while you keep working. And do the same with the bins along the door, the ones that hold the butter and the tall jars. Lift them out and wash them too, because the rings they leave behind and the sticky runs down their backs are a part of that smell as well, sitting right there at the front, where you pull the door open and breathe in. And now, the part I promised you, the second thing that no one alive ever cleans. At the very back of the inside, down on the floor of it, or underneath at the very bottom, depending on your make, there is a small hole, a little drain, where the water from all that cold is meant to run itself away. In a refrigerator that has a few years on it, that little hole clogs up slow with the seasons, and the water backs up and sits in a shallow pan underneath and turns. And that is a sour, hidden smell, all its own, that no shelf you ever wipe will touch. Pour a little warm water with a splash of vinegar straight down that hole to clear it through. And just like that, you have found the smell. You have been chasing around that kitchen for years without ever once laying a hand on it. And now, the reason that motor has been running itself so hard. Pull the whole refrigerator gently out from the wall and look at the back of it, or get down low and look underneath at the front. You will find a set of coils there, like a black metal grill, and I would put good money on them, being packed thick and gray with dust and hair, and every bit of fluff that has drifted under there since the day the thing was carried into your house. Those coils are how a refrigerator throws off its heat, and when they are choked over with dust, they simply cannot, so the motor works itself twice as hard to make the same cold it always did. Take a brush to them, or the hose end of your vacuum, and clear them off soft and slow until the black shows through clean again. Nobody ever taught you to do this, and it is half the reason a good refrigerator dies young, long before its time. And while the whole of it is pulled out and standing open, take a warm cloth to the outside too, the top of it especially, where a year of kitchen grease and settling dust have laid down a film you can scrape with the edge of a fingernail, and the handle and the edge of the door, where every hand in the house has left its mark. It is a small thing, I know, but a refrigerator that is spotless inside and grimy at the handle still feels dirty to you every single time you go to open it. Now, that little box of baking soda you have kept standing in the door all these years, trusting it to be doing the work, let me tell you the honest truth of it. A fresh spoon of baking soda in an open dish will pull a smell for a week, maybe 2, and then it is full and finished, and it just sits there, doing nothing at all, while you go on believing it is hard at work. That is the whole trick of the thing. It lets you feel like you are handling the smell, while the smell quietly handles you. So once your refrigerator is clean and dry and cold again, set a small dish of fresh baking soda inside if you like, or better still, a handful of plain coffee grounds, or a lump of charcoal, and then change it out when the month turns. not when the year does. And that bleach you kept reaching for. Keep it well away from this rubber seal for good now. Bleach eats at the rubber and dries it and cracks it. And a cracked seal is the very thing that began all your trouble in the first place. You do not need it. You never did need it. Warm water, a little vinegar, a soft old brush, and the patience to do the work in the right order will beat that smell every time, and it will not leave its own harsh smell behind to climb into your food. So today, you start with the refrigerator you had given up on. You empty it out, and you let it rest. You clean the seal, where the smell was truly living all along, and you bring the glass up to warm before it ever meets the water, and you clear that little drain at the back that not one soul ever told you about, and you sweep the dust off the coils so the motor can finally breathe, and you throw out the old box that was only ever pretending to help you. The women who kept their homes with their own two hands never let the damp sit down in the corners, and never once trusted a smell to a box on a shelf. They kept the cold sweet with a cloth and a bowl and a little vinegar, and their ice boxes lasted them a lifetime, because they knew where the trouble really hides, and that is a thing we are only just starting to remember.